Now, pressure mounting on the office of Governor Bob Ferguson to opt our state into the federal education tax credit scholarship program. Now that a second Democratic governor has opted into the program, it's not official yet, but on Thursday, New York's Governor Kathy Hochul signaled she does intend to opt her state into the program. She said that the federal tax credit scholarship program that would expand kind of school choice across the state, by helping some nonprofits direct financial assistance to education priorities, is something that she is in support of. We wait to find out if, in fact, Washington's governor is going to opt us into this program. He has until the first of the year to make a decision on that. Now, this program is a dollar for dollar federal tax credit of up to $1,700 based on how much money you make and based on what your federal income tax returns look like for scholarship granting nonprofits. And in turn, these organizations um, can, say, okay, you want to give your tax credit to the public education of your choice. You want to send that to a charter school in your community. You want to use that for transportation services. You want to direct that money to special education, maybe some special tutoring program, a special after school program. You, the taxpayer, get to decide. Now, no matter what, you can take advantage of this on your income tax return. The question is, will that money stay here in the state of Washington, or will Washington taxpayers have to send that money to another state that has opted into this program? So, Vicki Murray is Washington Policy Center's Education Center Director, a huge proponent of school choice and really pushing on Governor Ferguson to opt our state into this program.
The question for Democratic governors is, do you want hundreds of millions of dollars, depending on your state? For Washington state, it's conservatively over $700 million annually that could be for public and private school student, educational expenses. So governors are wondering, do we let all that money go? Because here's the thing, as federal taxpayers, each and every one of us is already able to take that credit off of our income taxes. So that's done. There's no question about that. The only question before Democratic governors is whether your state is opted in or not. Because if your state does not opt in to participate in the program, federal taxpayers can make donations for scholarships, but they'll go to children in schools in other states. So the question for Governor Ferguson is, do we want more than $700 million annually to go to now? 27 states have formally opted in. It's really 30 states have indicated formally and informally that they're going to be participating. So we have a choice of, the vast majority of states in the country and not Washington at this point. Why wait?
Now, I've been told that Governor Ferguson is under some pressure from the Washington Education Association, which is the state teachers union. They and some other blue state teachers unions don't want money directed into anything outside of the public education system. Now, keep in mind, this program does not take anything away, not a single dollar away from public education dollars in the state of Washington. This simply provides taxpayers on their federal income tax to say, if we've opted in, to say, yeah, I want this additional money to go into the scholarship for, thus and such a fund. And maybe you're a charter school proponent. Maybe you're a private school proponent. Maybe you love your local, school district in the state of Washington, but you want it to go into an after school program. You, as that taxpayer, will have the discretion of saying, this is where I want my money directed. But if Washington state does not opt in, we will not have that discretion. We can say, okay, let's send it to Mississippi or Arizona or Florida, another state that has opted into the program. More now from Vicki Murray at Washington Policy Center.
Well, the WEA, like its parent organization, is, their opposition to anything that includes non-public schools is nothing new. Nobody should be surprised by this. But I think the question people are starting to ask now, that's really a position that's a relic of a bygone era. You look at people today, we have so many choices in every other aspect of our lives. The idea that we have more freedom to choose a breakfast cereal than we do as to where to send how to educate our children, not just where to send them to school, but how to educate our children. That's something from like that, decades ago. So I think what we have to look at is, do we want, at a time, especially for Washington, when we have higher and only getting higher taxes, less affordability, can we really afford not to participate in this program? Because I want to be very clear, this program is already paid for with our federal tax dollars. The only question is, do Washington students and schools benefit, or Montana, Idaho, or the dozens of other states that are participating?
So, first of the year is the deadline for Governor Ferguson to decide whether or not to opt in. Murray at Washington Policy Center told me that many states that have already opted in have organizations that are forming already these scholarship organizations within their states to say, yeah, we want to help, our taxpayers make sure that where they want this money directed, we are in place and ready to roll that out on day one to help students, whether that's public, private, charter, whatever it looks like in the state. But again, we have to decide whether or not we are going to opt into this program. So again, pressure mounting on Governor Ferguson to make that decision. I did reach out to him today, as well as the Washington Education Association. Neither of them responded to my request for an interview or for comment ahead of my article and this podcast today. Not the first time I've reached out and they just declined to comment on this story. So we'll keep the pressure on and let you know if, in fact, we receive some kind of a response.